Dr. Hochman, a medical matchmaker. As a family medicine physician and huge physician advocate, I help doctors to find the jobs of their dreams. Hello. This is Lara Hochman, and today I have Dr. Tamara Beckford. She is an emergency room physician and the CEO and founder of Your Caring Docs. And I'm really excited to have Dr. Beckford here because she was the first person who ever interviewed me ever on a podcast. And now here we are, came full circle. So Dr. Beckford does something super cool. And before I butcher it, I'm just going to give it to Dr. Beckford to explain what it is that she does.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on, Dr. Laura. Alrighty, so I am Dr. Tamara Beckford, as you've heard, CEO of Your Caring Docs, where we help organizations to reduce their employee stress and burnout through self-care workshops. Also do that for private practices. So we help private practices out there. So that's why we're here talking on this wonderful platform where we're helping them with their same day employee retreats. So this is a half-day retreat that's held in the office, and we're going to talk all about why it's important, why I've decided to add this as a part of what I offer to our clientele is Your Caring Docs. And I'm really excited because we are going to have a lot of fun because we all know that Dr. Laura is super fun to work with and to be around.
Thank you. Well, okay. So one of the biggest issues that we're having right now, especially in this post-COVID era, is staff retention. So this was something that was an issue before COVID, but now it's just what the heck is going on. So can you tell us a little bit about, the concept of using retreats to improve staff retention and productivity in private practices?
Absolutely. And as you're saying, staff retention is something that's challenging. And if we really look at why it's challenging, it's a multifaceted approach, right? But one of the huge challenge that faces those who are in private practice and keeping staff is if the staff does not feel connected to the practice, right? So if I do not feel connected to the goals, if I do not feel connected to what the leader has envisioned for the practice, and I'm just here just to do whatever it is that I see on paper. So my role is MA, or my role is just to sign people in, then that's exactly what I'll be bringing in. And as soon as I see somewhere else that might have a raise that's even like 50 cents more, then I jump ship, right? Because I am not connected to the practice. I just feel like it's just a place I go do whatever it is that I need to do and leave. So why is it that's important? So when you're having retreats and you have especially employee-based retreats, you're really trying to connect everyone in the practice and have them as one, and not just feel like they're just a typical employee. Whatever they say or do doesn't matter. They know that they're connected in their voice and their opinion, and what it is that they feel that can enhance the practice, it's valid, and that you want to hear it. And that's why I feel like this is so important to have as a part of private practices.
And there's such a big return on investment, spending the time and spending the finances on something like this really makes a difference because you're decreasing the turnover, which, hiring is expensive.
Absolutely.
But also it makes it a place where you can really enjoy going to work. And, I really see this in the practices that I work with when they, every now and then I'll be speaking with one of the, the office manager, another one of the office staff. And when I ask what it is that they love about the practice, it's always about the environment and the culture. And I know that I can go to this physician with, absolutely anything. And that's so, it just cannot be emphasized enough how important that is. Just like we want to have a voice as physicians, so does everyone else. And they may not even realize it, but having that voice as anything, physician, medical assistant, receptionist, so important.
Absolutely. And, not only having the voice, but feeling that the voice, it's valid and what they're saying is being taken seriously. Now, I know some people might say, well, we can have this in a meeting, but in a meeting, how much can you really convey whenever you have work to do at the end of the day? And that's the difference between really taking that time to have even just a half day, which is some of the things that we do offer, even just taking a half a day, a couple hours, like, 4 hours, and connecting with the staff, getting to know them as people, getting to know them more in an environment where it's a little bit more relaxed, it's not as tense. So the creativity is enhanced, right? So before work, having a meeting right before work or during the time, you know that your mind is half there and half on, oh, I have these many patients, oh, I have all these things to do. As soon as we leave this meeting, we've had these additional tasks where I needed to complete this task. But when you're having a retreat where you're having it in a place where the mind is at ease because you've already set the tone, you've set the intention, then you've increased the creativity, you've increased the amount of ideas, and you've increased ways that you can improve on the practice overall.
Okay, so this sounds a little bit woo and out there. Um, tell us a success story. Tell us something that you've seen happen from off to one of your retreats. You go there, you do this retreat,
Mhm.
then what?
Okay, so you can see it simple portion, right? So as we talk about even getting to know each other. So we've had people who have worked together for years and years. And at the retreat, there's a portion, we usually start with, of course, getting people more relaxed and getting them to know each other through icebreakers or just different creative outlets. And people are saying, I didn't even know my colleague was a twin. And I've been working with her for years. And it's just like, yeah, I'm a twin. I have a twin sister. And, so those even just little ideas that, of course, breaks the ice and it gets you connected. Like, oh, wow, I didn't know you have this particular skills. I didn't know that you can do this. I thought that what I saw here was all that you did. And they're like, no, I have so many additional skills. Now, afterwards, of course, that's the part of the getting to know each other, then working on the goals of the practice. It's very enhancing and it's really creative thinking. And so when you see people within the practice that they're saying, hey, you know, I've noticed that this particular set of our patients or this set of our clientele, they're at this area. We're in, like for example, one of the practices we worked on was in Maryland, and they said that a lot of our clientele are within this particular area, close to the Georgetown area. I feel like if we can improve on our productivity, improve on the clientele that we want, we should start to target that side. Now, this is something that you might not get in just the meeting overall, because if you have not been able to set the goal and the leader of the organization, the private practice, doesn't have the time because they're so busy to say, hey, this is what I'd like to do in order for us to increase productivity. I'd like us to see if we can increase the clientele that are within this category, then the team won't know, right? But in that setting, they started to brainstorm because the leader had the time to say, this is really what I'd love for us during this next quarter. And they started brainstorming. Well, I know this person here, and this competing private practice on this other side, they're doing this, but a lot of their clients are coming to us for A. So if we just advertised A, then they'll know that they wouldn't need to go there. I mean, there are just so many great ideas that foster and are birthed just within this. And these are ideas that are increasing, like you said, the return on investments. They're ideas that's increasing the team overall is learning how to work smarter, not harder, and to increase what they're doing and their level of working together. The biggest thing at the end that they've all said is, wow, this feels really great because we feel heard. We feel heard. And I think that that's just so important.
Yeah, that's just so huge. Um, what are some reasons that someone should reach out and, maybe it's time for their practice to have a little bit of a retreat or a reach out or something?
Mhm. Okay, so first of all, a lot of times you probably have been working in your practice and you care about your team. You're working, you're coming up with ideas, but you just do not have the time to sit down and go over it with the team. Why? You probably haven't had a team meeting in forever because you're saying, I don't have the time to have a meeting. We're just spinning at the wheels and we need to just get things done. This is a reason why it's important to just stop and to either do it yourself, to put together a retreat, or you can hire someone like me to do it for you. Now, even just starting and just getting the ideas from the team, that alone is a huge plus in the connectivity that occurs. Just a huge plus. Getting them to understand why you are doing things and what your goal is for the practice, another huge plus. It's when you think about the practice, it's kind of like a ship that's steering. If they do not know what the destination is, then everyone is just rowing, but they might be rowing in different directions. If they can get the destination, this is our goal for this. We would like to get here, and these are my ideas. How about this? Can I get your ideas on how we can get here? It's really a powerful change in mind for the team overall. If they recognize that they're a team, it's not the front desk or the front end of the staff versus the back end of the staff, right? Because we know a lot of times that ends up being a divide. Well, the front end and then the back end, but it's no, we're working together. We're working together. Roles are important, but also teamwork is important. And then there are also bottlenecks that occur, but they're bottlenecks that occur for different reasons, right? So if you're sitting together, then you can figure out together, not blaming, but together discussing, where do we see the bottleneck? What are some ways together that you can come up with some creative ideas to test out to see if you can improve and to get over those bottlenecks? But it's something that's done together so that you're not having the team having a discord because they feel like this set is versus that set. No, it's a team. So if you're having a lot of turnover in your practice, if you're having discord in your practice, if you feel as if the team overall, you're not able to get a grip and to keep them connected, that's a very, very, very highlighted, stated time for you to say, okay, maybe it's time for us to do this retreat or an employee-based retreat, which is what I call this, for us to get on the same page. And this isn't something that you have to feel like you have to do yourself. As I said, I'm here to help. I am here to help.
Yes, we're so used to wanting to do everything ourselves. So we do not need to
Absolutely.
do everything ourselves.
No, 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 no.
Do you take anything into account when you're designing your retreats that are specific for that practice?
Absolutely. So I do want to let you know. So when you're doing the retreat or when I do it, I do not just come storming in and I have the answers to all of your problems. Absolutely not. The answers to a lot of it is, as you mentioned, individualized, right? And that's why the retreat is individually scheduled. So we will have a lot of discussions ahead of time. We will go over what is the goal, what is your aim, what is it that you would like to attain from this particular time. It's not an exorbitant amount of time, and I've done that on purpose. I recognize that your time is important. So I'm not going to use an exorbitant amount of your time, but it's going to be high yield, and we'll see what can we get from that. So we'll pull from the culture, we'll pull from your mission, your vision. We'll enhance the mission and vision that you've had for the practice and try to convey that to the team overall. And then we'll make and tailor your retreat based on that, so that it'll be an effective retreat, high yield, but effective, but also connected.
Awesome. That's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. Um, so if someone's a practice owner and they're like, gosh, I'm having all of this turnover, I don't know what to do, but I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like, what do you feel like as far as their concerns would be, or, all of that? And what do you say?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of concerns that can happen. Number one, oh my gosh, is it worth it? That's that's a big concern. I'm already dealing with all of this. Should I even pay someone to come on in? Well, I say to think about this. Think about the stress of having a disharmonious team. Think about the stress of having to deal with the decision fatigue that's going on consistently day in and day out. The think about the stress of having to make decisions of one versus the other because this person said that, and I'm not sure. I wasn't there initially when this discord took place, and then you side with A, and then A is upset because they felt as if that you are siding with B. Like all of that is all the opposite of what you want in your practice. You want a team, and when you started the practice, you envisioned being able to take care of your clients. You envision being able to have a harmonious team. You envision being able to have people that can work together for this goal that you have set, which you can still do. You can still do. How do you do it? Is by getting them on the same page. Now, if this is something that you're able to do yourself, then wonderful. If you're having challenge doing it, then that's when I urge you to step out and get someone who can help you to do that. Because toiling is different than working hard. Toiling is working in circles. But if you're working hard and achieving those goals, then I think that everyone will feel appreciated. They're feeling great. And then they know that I've been able to check those things off my box and I'm moving ahead. And even when it comes to finances and the return on investment of having a team that's efficient, that's productive, it way far surpasses having a team that's just toiling. And you're sitting there wondering if you're going to make payroll because you're just working and you're losing so many things because of the fact that you can't have a team that's harmonious. So I think it's worth the investment. And I would have you, if you're a private practice owner, sit and think about it too.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice to give to practice owners to decrease turnover?
Absolutely. So to decrease the turnover, of course, it's not a one size fit all, as I mentioned, but I think that one of the biggest ways is to have the team or have the individuals feel emotionally vested in the business. So if they feel emotionally vested, other than the financial part will come. If your increased productivity, if your team is efficient, then you will bring in the money and you will be able to increase their salaries. But the heart is where it is. If you can have the team that's invested emotionally and their heart is centered on what it is that you have envisioned for the company and for the business, then I think that the turnover will be less likely.
Well, that is very true. True for doctors, true for absolutely everyone. Um,
Absolutely.
okay. So someone's watching this and they
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh my goodness, Dr. Tamara Beckford, I need you. Where can they
Mm-hmm.
find you?"
Absolutely. So you can find me on my website, Your Caring Docs. That's URCaringDocs.com. And to book for this private practice retreats, it's yourcaringdocs.com/private-practice-retreats. So private-practice-retreats with an S. I'd love to be able to help you. You can book a time for us to talk, and then we can come up with a wonderful private practice retreat that is tailored to your specific business.
You heard her. Reach out. It would be life changing for your practice. Let's put some pep into your practice this day.
Absolutely.
All right. If you think this can be helpful to someone, please go ahead and share it, like it, comment. Dr. Beckford and I will absolutely be happy to answer any questions you have. And